Hey YouTube, this is David, Richter Scale Studios. What you're looking at, I forgot what part, I'll have it up here on the Meganobz Cobbled thing. This is it was a complete Meganobz that came in a bits purchase, and I am starting on the face. I am masking them with some of this stuff. This is for parafilm. I got this off of, I believe, Amazon. I don't remember the price. It's 2 inches by 250 feet. It's a very stretchy kind of plastic. If you ever had blood tests done, you see this like stretched over the test tubes and written on, or also stretched over the test tubes to seal it too. And I am using I haven't used this in a while. This is my Badger Renegade Velocity. It's like a 0.21 needle. Pretty good detailed needle. It's not the tip top, but it's a nice feel in your hands. And then the paint colors I'm using off of a wet palette. This is all Vallejo game colors, old school stuff. Dark green, goblin green, livery green, and that is bone white. I'm using a cheap paintbrush, and I'm just putting little amounts in the cup as I need them to keep light coats. You don't need a lot of paint. And also, you'll see some videos where these guys just have this cake paint on their brushes. That gives me anxiety for some reason. I don't know if I'm OCD. I just like keeping my tools clean and not putting too much paint in. I don't like wasting paint also. So I'll show you what I'm doing in a second. I'll be back. Okay, we are back, and I'll show you what I'm doing. Let's see if I can take you over here real quick. With the tripod, excuse the camera work. There is our wet palette. Got a wet brush. Just taking some of the dark green and just shoving it, basically, not shoving it, just placing little droplets into the needle section there. I learned this from about the Painting Buddha videos. It was at maskmini.net, I believe it is, but looking for Painting Buddha. And I was watching how they did those large scale miniatures. And instead of shoving paint in your, thinning it out and dropping it in your airbrush, then cleaning it out again. This is very minimalistic. So I just have to use the paint I want to use. It's a little more time consuming, but I just need a little bit of paint. I'm just doing a little head here. I'm not doing like a big tank. And you can see a little bit of color. It's very thin paint. And this is the second coat I'm putting on, and this will give us a nice base to work with. And I'm not afraid of these mechanics and stuff on him. I don't have to mask those. These are going to be very thin coats of paint, so I don't have to worry about clogging detail or muddling the miniature. And then we're done there. I'm not going to go back on... so I can back this out now. So I'm going to go for the next color down, which is, this is goblin green. Just grab some of that. Push that into the brush. Clean my brush. Keep it out of the water. And I'm going to go straight on. So now we have like the dark shadows. And see we have color going. See that on my hand? And I'm just going to keep it at a little higher angle, but not totally from the top. Clean that out. Go to our next color. Let me wash this one out too. So I'm just going to I got my little sponge. This is how I back flush, get the paint out of the chamber. Oh, you can see that in there. You can hear it. And I have a little trash can by the side of me. Just dump it out real quick. Get all the, if there's any kind of paint that's drying up, which I doubt. I'm using very... Oh, also, with this also, I'm kind of dropping some of this in there too. This is... the Lamian Medium by Citadel. I put it into a Reaper bottle, so it just makes it so much easier to deal with. And going from there, we're going to go to the next color down. And I'm going to do this livery green. Let's do that. Go in there. Get that color going. Yep, very. It's almost like glazing with this thing. Okay, and then I'm going to do a little mix of that livery with the bone white. And that should really show up. Got the back of my glove, so make sure we got color going. There we go, nice light color. And I'm going to go right to the tops. So we have like a dark green, kind of zenithal highlighted it. And we're going to go in with some brushwork too, obviously. Do the teeth and do some more edge highlighting and that type of thing. We're going to do some of that right now. And clean my brush out. I'm using this to clean it out. I have this alcohol, 15% alcohol distilled water mix. Just running that into, I'll show you how I'm cleaning this thing. This is kind of tenuous the way I have this set up. Under there I have a brush station. I can speed up this process when you get it dilute it with all that water. You can see I get it nice and clean inside, and then run the air through there, and I can just do little droplets of water at a time. I'm going to do some back flushing while I'm here. Pinch it, throw that out. Even though there's a lot of not very much alcohol in that mixture, I want to make sure I get it all out of there. And this is my straight distilled water. It's a couple drops. And there, that's done. Now we can go into some brush work. Okay, I'm going to grab a... that's Raphael. Do a number 1 Winsor Newton. And we might want to do some washes on this guy too, but I want to do some highlighting first. I'm going to do the same thing on the back of my glove, make sure I got a good color and good consistency. And bring this back up. There we go. And I can go in there and start doing the highlights, glazing them on. See a slight color transition, but that's just as we add layers, light layers. And we're going to add some washes into this, to his lip, and then his cheekbones. Let's get some more different color going. See what that color works like. There we go. Got his ears. There's other ear. Get the nose. Got some of these raised edges above the mouth here. They're kind of hidden, but you want to accentuate them. And let's see, the back of this jawline a little bit. It's actually looking pretty good. And just kind of to keep building these layers up. And remember to breathe. As the outside of this ear, kind of highlight that up. Let's get some little bit of lighter stuff going. We'll go even lighter now with another glaze on top of that to highlight it. Really close in there. Maybe back on the crest of his head. A little bit loose on this mix. I can see it kind of flowing in a little bit. But we'll fix that with a darker wash. Then we want the highlights, so you pull the paint towards where you want it to be the brightest. So we'll pull those up. I want that to the top of the ear. Oops, top of the ear. So you got to remember your brush control. Pull this to the edge of the chin. Feather it in. God, what else can we get in there? A little bit right there. And we have this area here. Pull it down, pull it down. Now while we're here, we can get like a little, this bone white is not going to be, this is going to be a highlight though, but we can just differentiate the teeth real quick while we have it on the palette. Make sure we have a good consistency. Yeah, it's nice, it's not going to flow. We're going to probably wash these or glaze these with some Agrath Earth Shade or something of that ilk. The new word of the day. This one have brown roots, and these will be part of the highlight color too, but we'll probably go into some stark white. See, and also with this bone color, while we're here, we can go right over that eye. Really bring out some of the, because we have the bone white mixed with the livery green. A little bit of, on the chin, might be a little too much there. And there we go. Let's see if we can bring him up closer. It's starting to come together pretty nicely. I'm going to leave that right there. This part I'm going to work on a little more and show you. This is a basic technique. I was just showing what I work on. Just doing some light glazes, a lot with the airbrush. Then came in with really thin coats of paint. And then maybe I'll come back and do a little bit of shadowing on them. But so far so good. And as usual, thank you for joining me, and we'll see you soon. Okay, I am back real quick. I just did a little bit of brush work on them, a little bit of not metallic metals. Sorry about that. Let me see, let's get this masking off. This is no adhesive on this stuff. It's kind of like a cling wrap for miniatures. Let's see how that turned out. That looks not too shabby. Well, you can get them focused. There we go. I just went in and glazed a little bit. Some actually some old school Thraka green, and then some Agris earth shade. So we can get them back in focus. I went back on the teeth. I did Agris earth shade on this. You saw how I base coated them in the bone white. And then went back with a bone white and skull white mix and highlighted the teeth up. Did some grays on his little eyepiece and did a little bit of gore red in there. A little gore red in his eyeball, a little more work on there, and some, what is it, plague brown and I think some bronze flesh for the earrings and the nose ring. So that's just a quick little do. I think it turned out pretty nice, and I got it done with the airbrush. Took me a couple minutes to throw those together, and like I said, get some more dark in there. I also did a little bit of black paint with a Thraka green and some Lathium medium to make a wash to get some little darker shadows in there. So that is coming together, and then I'll end this part here, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.